Hello, everybody. It's meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Winter weather advisories across the Northland, northern parts of northeast Montana, all the way through North Dakota into Minnesota and Wisconsin for ice and snow heading its way through Manitoba. Now, your forecast begins right here. But first, my friends at Robert Gibbons Sons want to let you know that you can upgrade your comfort today. When you upgrade to a new heating and cooling unit, Robert Gibbons Sons will throw in a free water heater. Enjoy year-round comfort and savings with the best in HVAC technology. Don't miss this incredible deal. Give them a call today. Let them know that Hutch sent you. Here's a look across the nation as we look at the radar. A lot of rain, heavy rain, wet rain in parts of southern Texas right now, from Brownsville north towards, well, just south of the Houston area, and the line of thunderstorms off to the west in West Texas, moving across the Rio Grande Valley as well. Some strong thunderstorms near Salina, Kansas, as well as some showers of rain and thunder rumbling through the Pacific Northwest. But the big system for our neck of the woods up here in the northern plains taking place right now near Winnipeg. As we take a look in, some of the snow has been quite heavy up in that particular area. And as we take a look at the road conditions today, here in just 1 minute, we'll take a look first at what we enjoyed today. Remember, you drop your comments right here. Let me know what you're thinking across. If you have a question, let me know. Brenda, good to have you on board. Thanks so very much for being a part of Hutch's Weather, as is always the case. Also, if you're watching on my YouTube channel, please click that old subscribe button and check this out. We had a lot of banana colors out here, and look at the range in temperatures across our region. Did you know it hit near 80 degrees today in Miles City, Montana, and 31 in Langdon was the peak temperature today on the North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network. So we got to tell you, 77s felt wonderful and like heaven in Sidney, Montana. Crosby 59, the Rugby area 44 degrees, Minot 56 on this network with 60s for Bismarck, 54 in Jamestown. Get into Barnes County, we dropped into those mid 50s, and we saw mid 50s here in the FM area as well. Minnesota, northwest part of the state, seeing 30s, while we had 50s and mid 50s at that in Lakes Country for Ottertail County, Becker County, Clay County, as well as Wilkin. When we got into the Traverse County area, it was 60s there as well. Beautiful weather today. Now, take a look at what's going on for our neighbors in parts of Manitoba right now as we take a look at the DOT up there, the road conditions, and let me show you what. We do have some snow. Now, where you see the yellow here is indicating some snow-covered roads, but Winnipeg has had a couple of rounds of pretty intense snowfall making its way through. And this is what it looks like out there as we load up the most recent nastiness. We have pillow drifts on the side of the road. Very cozy for a night's sleep, but not for travel. It doesn't look like it's very fun up there as we take a look at some other roads out near the Brandon area. Not too bad, but we get north of Brandon, Manitoba towards Dauphin, and that is where we have flakes flying. And look at the tread and the snow there up in parts of central Manitoba. So the snow hitting heavy there. I don't expect a lot of heavy snow for us, but there is that winter weather advisory that I spoke of just moments ago. And let me go over the areas of concern with that before we get to your hour-by-hour forecast here as we take a look at where the the weather advisory is. It does extend through northeast Montana. Do you see the rain showers showing up here? Mixed precipitation from Regina all the way down into parts near, oh my gosh, Walhalla, showing up some mixed precipitation in your area. So the winter weather advisory extends all the way along the Highway 2 corridor from Minot right through Devil's Lake and Grand Forks. And that continues Red Lake Falls as well as Thief River Falls all the way up toward the international border, Lake of the Woods, Roseau County, Kitson County. And then we sneak down into the Walker area as well as Duluth and the North Shore. Notice this heavier band of snow is likely to skirt right along that international border like the models have been advertising the last couple of days. Speaking of which, let's get to those models. Darlene, thank you. Snow due to hit here around midnight at Thunder Bay. So if you take a look at where this is right now, you can see International Falls seeing some heavier precipitation just to the north there. So maybe Lake Capitogama up there as we sneak out toward that Thunder Bay. Voyagers National Park, all in this area. That snow is just inching a little bit closer, and it will likely skirt right along the border as we go through the overnight hours. So there is a chance for some accumulation now that we know where it is snowing and where the system is working its way through. Let's take a look at the latest model that is just coming in right now. Again, thanks for your input, Darlene. Appreciate it very much. Thanks for watching, Brenda. Appreciate having you on board. Let me see here. I'm gonna have to sneak down so I can see more of the comments and questions Kathy, good to have you on board. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this forecast model here. This is an hour-by-hour forecast. It's updated every hour, but there's a couple of key points I want to point out right here. Number one, snow. The initial stages of this forecast model starting out very good. It's showing the snow where it's snowing, and it's showing no snow where there isn't much going on. So this is starting out good, and that's a good sign. So the wind will be picking up across North Dakota from the south. That's going to keep temperatures warmer and more mild as we go through the deep hours of the overnight. To read the time on this, 5Z, which is Zulu, Greenwich Mean Time in Greenwich, Europe, the first time zone, if you will. We are 5 hours behind them. So we have to subtract 5 hours. This then is midnight. So your forecast there for the area in and around Thunder Bay, Darlene, looks to be spot on. There'll be some snow skirting the area. Looks like a better chance just a pinch to your north. Laurel, good to have you watching from War Road. Same area here now, as you'll have some snow showers and the increasing chance thereof as we go through the overnight hours skirting. But we're not done yet. Now, as we go towards daybreak, let's go to about 5, 6 a.m. We're going to have a batch of ice working along the Highway 2 corridor in Poise North, Highway 5, Highway 11, and northern parts of northwest Minnesota. Meanwhile, out near the Twin Cities, some rumbles of thunder in the very wee hours of the morning won't be out of the question. This is a warm front here, and on the north side of it, it could trigger a few showers. Now, this bubble of warm air, thanks to the south wind, will keep the temperatures in the FM area milder, but we could have wilder weather up north with some icing taking place, and yes, it could accumulate as well. Brenda, those isobars are handy, and they're very close together. The closer they are, the windier it is. So we can compare with isobars on a weather map here where it's going to be the windiest right here, compared to places where the isobars are a little farther apart. Breezy, yes, but not as windy as what we have going on here. This wind will be coming out of the east or southeast, and then it starts to shift and become a little bit more northerly on the backside. Daybreak forecast, icing north, snow near the international border, and as we go through the day, we're not done yet. Check this out. Heading towards the midday hour, it looks like this system is out of here. Sayonara, see you later, but no. On the backside of this system here, we have a little bit of an upper level system that's going to work its way through on the backside, bringing a layer for the evening drive. This is dinner time across the Highway 2 corridor again. Rain showers up near Grand Forks, and again, a chance for some snow. Maybe a better chance at a little bit of accumulating snow along the international border, along and north of Highway 2, and some significant icing potential that carries its way across the region all the way into Friday at midnight and 1 o'clock. And then we could wave goodbye for realsies this time. And again, thanks for your questions. All right, Amy, how much snow is expected for War Road from this system? This is the very latest model, and let's get to the answer on that with a look at this model's rendition. But I still think it's going to be pretty close to what I've been broadcasting here for the last little bit. So here's a look at snowfall potential. This main system rocking its wheels right now through Winnipeg is going to bring several centimeters of snow. I think over 20 centimeters of snow in parts near Winnipeg. And as you get toward the northwest angle, you're going to be really close to getting some rocking snowflakes. Now look at just how close this gets to you folks in International Falls, up near Capitogama, up near Rainy Lake. And boy, I'll tell you what, there'll be a chance for some accumulating snow, but the best chance looks to be north of you on this model. Now icing. Here is a look at the freezing rain potential from this latest model run that's coming out right now. And it's showing that the morning activity brings a light dose along Highway 11 and Highway 5 and points south. So really close to, but just north of the Highway 2 corridor right here. That's the morning round. And then with that afternoon backside of the system, look at that nonsense. Highway 200 could see some icing with significant icing potential as well in the Arrowhead of Minnesota. So that's a look at the snow and the ice, and this is just round one of a 2-round system. Let's get to the details and the numbers in your forecast. Woo-wee, 40 degrees first thing in the morning in Fargo. Remember that south wind keeping us a little milder while we'll have an east-northeast wind up north. It'll be rocking as high as 35 miles per hour while the snow is flying mainly along and north of the border. We'll have some mixed areas of ice in the morning up north. So that's where things will be kind of wild. And speaking of wild, just take a look at where meteorologists have to really define where this thing's going to happen. Can you believe in this short distance, we're talking about temperatures in the 80s out toward the Twin Cities and point south, and we're in the 20s up here. Are you kidding me? That's a difficult forecast, and Fargo sits right on the zone. I have been saying 56 all week or so. I'm going to stick with it. In fact, I think I had a 61 out there. Look at Fergus Falls. You'll be near 60 degrees there. Richland County, Hankinson, Wahpeton, Breckenridge, and Gwinner, all of you, Oaks, near 60 degrees. But this happens in the early afternoon. We start out at 40 to 45 down south, and we will see temperatures around 56 in the early afternoon, and then falling away from us will be these temperatures as we go into the afternoon and evening hours. And there'll be that backside drive time, snow and ice working along and north of the Highway 2 corridor, and there will be that chance of some snow that will stick to the road. So here's a snapshot of this system as we start our day, right along the international border with spits and sprinkles here and there, and even near the Twin Cities, maybe a rumble of thunder. Then in the evening hours, I've got the 8 o'clock after drive time, and after, we'll have this wave of heavier snow moving from Minot, Devil's Lake, right through Grand Forks and points north towards War Road by the time we get to 8. This will lay down a layer of some snow. It will also lay down a layer of some ice. So we're going to have some slippery roads along Highway 2 and points north, and maybe as far south as Highway 200 still, because we'll be seeing rain with temperatures falling. All right, so here's again a look at the snowfall potential. I've got little fingers of snow that will work their way down on that backside of the system, working their way through. So a trace to 2 inches for many of us here in northwest Minnesota and areas north of Highway 2. And along the international border, 2 to 8 plus inches of snow, I think points just north of Winnipeg and also just north of you folks in Rainy Lake and Lake Kabetogama. And you're all going to see those heavier snow amounts just to the north of the international border. How about the ice? Here's a quick look at the repeat performance on this. We'll have the morning light dash and a heavier dash in the afternoon drive home. So please take it slow, take it easy, and check the latest road conditions on hutchesweather.com. Hutchesweather.com is a great resource. When I'm live, you'll see the button right at the top. You can watch it while we're live right on my website, hutchesweather.com. The other big resource for anybody traveling tomorrow will be Hutch's Road Conditions tab right here. And you can get the very latest in road conditions anywhere in our region. And that includes you folks in our neighboring provinces of Canada as well. So when you click on the road conditions tab, here's what you get. You got North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, Iowa, Nebraska. Oh, there's Montana and Manitoba. And if we go to Manitoba and push on that button, you're going to get the latest as we just reviewed right here on hutchesweather.com. So please remember to check the roads in the morning and then before the ride home at work on hutchesweather.com. All right, now after we get through that System 1, there's System 2 coming through, but let's take a look at the 7-day planner. System 1 Friday will be an all-day event up north. We'll get a little break, so it won't be pounding all day long. Now, as we go through the evening hours, that system's out of here. We'll get a break for most of Saturday. So notice, Hutch doesn't have any precipitation here in the valley in the first half of the day on Saturday. It's the last half of the day and into the overnight when we'll have a system work its way through. This is a Colorado low. This is big-time snow for areas between, say, eastern South Dakota and southern Minnesota, where a heavier band of snow will move through. A break, and then another round of significant weather is going to be possible on Tuesday and Wednesday. If you want me to cover that, I will. Deb, good to have you on board. What's up with you? Thanks for watching. Appreciate you watching from the FM area. Now, let's talk weather across not only our area, but the nation, because this system is a long enough ways out. I have highlighted these days for a reason, because I want to let you know before anywhere else that this could be a significant system. I've been talking about it for a few days that April may come in like a wet cat, right? And that's what it's looking like here. Let's take a look at the very latest on that. But first, let's get through Saturday. So here we go. On Saturday, as we go through the afternoon, whoopsies, I think I got to go here. Here's your Saturday system. This is the Colorado low sneaking through. Models are still not in synchronicity about this system. There are disagreements with this system, but it does show south of Fargo on the I-29 corridor, there will be a band of very heavy snow potential as we go through the evening hours Saturday into Sunday morning. So the timing has shifted a little bit from what I was speaking of yesterday to a little bit later, but this storm system here moving through parts of South Dakota will be on the northern fringes here in Fargo, but I don't think we'll be in the bullseye of it. Neither will you in Fergus Falls, but you will be a piece closer. Nope, I think Grant County and you folks in Wendell, you might see some snow. And you folks out there in the Alexandria area may get some mixed precipitation moving through with rain and thunder sleet working its way through places like the Brainerd Lakes area. Now, this could shift a little bit. It's far enough out where this is just an idea. The storm movement will be from southwest to northeast as we go through our Saturday night into Sunday morning. By Sunday morning, most of the impacts will be out of here and heading into parts of Wisconsin. Here's the deal. We'll have some measurable snow across the southern half of North Dakota where you see the gray colors here. Not too much. That includes Fargo. You could get a flake or two in Grand Forks or maybe Red Lake Falls as well as Fosston. Now, as we go down into South Dakota from Pierre through areas near Watertown, likely in north, there's going to be this band of heavier snow. I'll call it 2 to 5 inches. Some will get the old plus sign in there as well. So again, if you have questions, let me know. Leora, good to have you on board as well. Lake Brunson is in a world of hurt. Yeah, Clayton, I'll tell you what, there's going to be some areas that are going to have some significant slipperiness to the roads. I don't think it looks super duper heavy for your area. Wow, thunder sleet, Terry says, indeed, thunder sleet again is a possibility. So the snow chances will be here, and on the south side of this snow band is where any icing would be possible heading into that second storm. So, as a reminder, we've got Storm 1 on Friday, a little tiny break. Colorado low Saturday night into Sunday morning. Sunday morning travel in eastern Minnesota will be compromised out in those areas. Will be cooler to close out the weekend and start the work week. But look at this. We close out the month of March like a lamb. But it won't be a lamb for long. Here's your wet cat coming into the forecast period. Cheryl says, hi, Hutch, watching from near Natiwash. It's sure good to have you on board. Thank you so much for watching. And I appreciate you watching, Brenda. And let's see if I got a question here. Good evening from Lidgerwood. All right, let's take a look at this next system. It's awful early, but the eyeballs have been on this system for more than a few days. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the European model. And again, I'll reiterate this because I've said it a lot of times over the last year, but the European model tends to be a little more consistent in the long range forecast. So let's keep that in mind. And by long range, I mean greater than 3 or 4 days out. Here we go as we get through the weekend with our Colorado low. You see it coming through? Whoop! Zips on up into northern parts of Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan, ice and snow and no fun. Severe weather outbreak will be possible Sunday. Basically, this cold front that will be knifing through some humid air here will fire off a line of storms. We're talking all the way north into Michigan. We're talking about Indiana and Illinois, mainly the southern parts. But when you get down here, we'll have a little more energy in the atmosphere because it will be hot and humid. So severe weather potential is real Sunday across the central plains and southern plains while this system exits out through the northeast. Look at this on the back side of it. This is like a secondary low spinning out of the Central Rockies and then bring in another shot of snow. But this isn't the main event as Pedro is wanting me to let you know. Here we go. Here's another Colorado low developing on the 1st. This is midday on the 1st of the month of April. So we have a chance of some significant snow and icing starting on the 1st. But this isn't the main event. Watch what happens as this system transport moisture from the Gulf of Mexico straight up into the northern plains, unimpeded, without a lot of things sucking the moisture out of the system in the central plains yet. This is really going to push a lot of moisture up into the northern plains. Uh-oh. Here we go. The potential is there for a very significant severe weather potential outbreak in the central plains and southern plains if this scenario pans out. Look at Colorado. Look at Wyoming. Mountains of snow in the mountains is possible. And as all this moisture arrives up north, look at this. Ice, thunder sleet again. We'll have heavy bands of snow, 1 to 2 inches per hour would be possible from a scenario like this. And look at the strong to severe storms as we go into the morning. So this could be nocturnal storms that go all night long from Kansas and Nebraska through Missouri and down on into Arkansas and Oklahoma as well. Look at the snow. Look how long it sits here. This low stays right here. That is midnight on the 2nd. There is about morning time on the 2nd. and there is about midday on the 2nd, and there is, it hasn't moved very far, the evening of the 2nd. So several hours of snow potential with this particular system. Do other models show it? Well, let's just show you a quick guess to say, why is Hutch showing me this? It's too far out. He don't know what's going to happen. No, I don't. My mind can't calculate this far out. That's why we have models to guide us with these calculations. Here we go, the 30th and exiting storm system. And in fact, this Canadian model has a more northerly route to this little weather making system that could impact the Southern Valley. Here comes the Colorado low developing, and shazam, here we go as we go into the 2nd. Rain down south, thunderstorms down south, and snow with this slower moving system through the northern plains on the 2nd and into the 3rd. A little bit of a timing disagreement there. Now let's take a look at the good old American model, and let's see if we have any questions. Cheryl says, hi, Hutch. Thanks for watching. And let's see what we got here. Terry says, thunder sleet is something that sounds fun. Deb, watching from Buckeye, Arizona. Good to have you on board as well. Okay. So here's a look at the good old American model. And as this one rumbles through, here is the end of the month storm system working its way through the Central Plains. Here comes your next Colorado low making landfall in the Pacific Northwest, developing on the 1st. Timing spot on with the European model. A little farther north track. What does that mean? That means snow starts, and it could be heavier along this warm front band here on the evening of the 1st, spreading through Minnesota. Here's the low here with the secondary low down here. So this system kind of congeals, but has a much more northerly track. That means that this one is pulling the snow through the region on the 1st, and then into the 2nd, it's really racing off through parts of Wisconsin. So both of these models, the American and the European, and the third model being the Canadian model, show a system, the 1st and the 2nd, maybe even off into the 3rd, Central Plains, Southern Plains, severe weather, big time snow potential in the northern plains as that system works its way through. So that is a look at that. And without further ado, I think we will call that good. Thank you so very much for your support. Remember, big time changes in the offing first thing in the morning, and I'll have an update for you right here as we get started. But the first thing to know is it could be icy in the morning up north with snow north and along the international border, with another round coming for the drive time home up north, Highway 2 and points north. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. I sure appreciate each and every one of you for watching on Hutch's Weather. I really would appreciate you taking the moments to go ahead and hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel, Hutch's Weather, and also follow me on Facebook. And if you didn't get a chance to see, the Weather Kid tonight was outstanding and very fun. So I hope you got a chance to check out the Weather Kid. But if not, well, you got to go over to hutchesweather.com and see Francis. Francis has a twin sister, by the way, so both make an appearance on tonight's version of Hutch's Weather Kid, brought to you by my fine friends at Luther Family Ford. For now, get a good night's sleep. Be prepared for some big-time changes over the next several days. Hutchesweather.com will get you out the door in style with the information you need. For now, have a good